I need you to really imagine this because it still feels unreal even to me. One ordinary morning, no warning, no knock on the door, no official letter, just a message that changes everything. Someone casually asks, "So, when are you moving out?" I laugh at first because why wouldn't I? I wasn't moving. I had no plans. My ranch was my home, my land, my future. Then the link arrives, and suddenly my stomach drops. There it is, my ranch, listed for sale, public, professional photos, a price, a description written with confidence. It looks clean, legal, final, except I never agreed to sell it, not verbally, not in writing, not ever. And that's the moment your brain starts racing faster than your heart can keep up, because you're not just confused, you're scared. Not the loud kind of fear, the quiet kind, the kind where you realize something is deeply, dangerously wrong. As I read the listing again and again, I start noticing things, phrases I've seen before, language pulled straight from HOA emails, that same stiff, authoritative tone, that same "we have the right" attitude. And then it clicks. HOA Karen didn't complain this time. She didn't fine me. She didn't threaten. She skipped all of that and went straight to the nuclear option. She tried to sell my ranch without permission. Let that sink in. Someone who doesn't own the land, didn't pay a single dollar for it, didn't work for it, didn't bleed for it, decided she could just sell it. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was confidence, the kind that only comes from unchecked power. Somewhere along the way, Karen stopped seeing herself as an administrator and started seeing herself as an authority above the law. Rules became weapons, paperwork became a shield, and she used both without hesitation. I start digging because that's all you can do when reality starts slipping. Emails I never received, conversations I was never part of, claims that the property was non-compliant, claims that the HOA had the right to intervene, each sentence more absurd than the last, yet written as if it were unquestionable truth. And the worst part? Anyone reading it who didn't know better might actually believe it. That's the danger. Not just that she tried to sell my ranch, but that she almost could have, because when authority speaks loudly enough, people stop asking questions. Realtors assume paperwork is valid, buyers assume listings are legitimate, and suddenly your land is one signature away from disaster. The stress doesn't come all at once. It creeps in. Sleepless nights, rereading documents at 3 a.m., wondering how far this has gone, wondering who else knows, wondering what happens if someone actually makes an offer, because at that point you're not just fighting one person anymore, you're fighting momentum. But here's what Karen didn't expect. Ownership leaves a trail, a long one. Deeds, records, boundaries, laws older than any HOA by decades. And once I started pulling those threads, her story began to fall apart fast, not dramatically, not loudly, quietly, the scariest kind of collapse. Emails change tone, phone calls stop coming, meetings get postponed. Suddenly, it's not "we will" anymore, it's "we may have misunderstood." Funny how confidence disappears when facts walk into the room. And then comes the moment every power tripper hates most: silence. No threats, no bold claims, just distance. Because once you expose the truth, there's nothing left to stand on. But don't get it twisted. This wasn't just about me. This was a warning shot to every homeowner who thinks that would never happen to me. Because it doesn't start with selling your property. It starts with small control, small overreach, small violations you're told to ignore, until one day someone decides your land isn't really yours anymore. Stay with this story until the very end, because what stopped this wasn't luck. It was one mistake Karen made, one assumption that exposed everything she was doing. And once you hear it, you'll understand exactly how close this came to being irreversible and how to make sure it never happens to you.